Let's understand a particular machine, guys. There's a machine, okay, in which you feed an input and you can have multiple outputs possible. Okay, such a machine is called as the relation. Okay, so you can understand this analogy with the help of two sets. Okay, two particular collection of objects. Okay, the input set and the output set. Okay, what we'll try to establish right now is the connection between every element in the input to the every element of the output. So if you observe carefully, यहाँ पे the input A1 corresponds to three outputs, B1, B2, B3. Multiple outputs are possible, right? The second input A2 corresponds to B2, B3, and Bn minus one. A3 corresponds to only one. A4 corresponds to B1, Bn. Lot of different possible values. Okay, lot of different correspondence is possible, right? So you know, this is the basic meaning of the term relation. Okay, where it is nothing but a rule or a law that connects one element from the input to one element from the output. Okay, and the input is your independent variable x and the output is your dependent variable y. So any rule or any law that connects the independent variable x with the dependent variable y, it is called as a relation. Okay, so it's a machine that basically generates some outputs. Okay, आपने input दिया, it is generating different types of outputs. Okay, so let's go on to the specific kind of relations. Now I have a specific machine, guys, जहाँ पे I'm feeding the input, I get exactly one output, and that is called as a function. Okay, so by taking the example, okay, I have drawn the two sets here, the inputs and the outputs. Okay, if you observe carefully, one element from the input corresponds to exactly one and only one element of the output. Okay, when this happens, okay, such a relation, a special case of a relation, it is called as a function. Okay, so what is the meaning of the term function? A relation such that, okay, for one input, that is the independent variable x, exists exactly one and only one output. Okay, that is the dependent variable y. All right, so we'll try to understand the examples of functions. Okay, because examples will make them more clear. Okay, so looking at the examples, guys, I look at the very first example, y equals to 2x plus 5. Okay, now guys, यहाँ पे if I put x is equal to, let's say, 0, okay, I'll get y equal to what? 2 into 0 plus 5, which is 5. मैंने x का एक वैल्यू पुट किया, मुझे y का एक ही वैल्यू आया, right? Okay, similarly you can put x equals to 1, you will get y is equal to 2 into 1 plus 5, which is 7. X का एक वैल्यू पुट किया, y का एक ही वैल्यू आया, right? So basically y is equal to 2x plus 5 is a function. Okay, second example is y is equal to 2 raised to 0. यहाँ भी same चीज है. If you substitute x equal to, let's say, 0 here, y will be 2 raised to 0. 2 raised to 0 will be nothing but 1. Anything raised to 0 is basically 1 except 0. Okay, same way, if you substitute x equals to 1 here, guys, y will be 2 raised to 1, which is 2, right? So you put one value of x, you get exactly one value of y as the output. You get one value of x, you get one value of y as the output. Okay, this again is a kind of a function. Okay, second, the next one is y is equal to x square. Same thing. Okay, I substitute x equal to 0, I get y is equal to 0 square 0. x का एक value put किया, y का एक सिर्फ एक value आया, right? I put x equals to 1, y will be 1 का square, which is 1 as such, right? यहाँ पे if I put x equal to -1, y will be equal to 1 here, right? So you put one input, you get exactly one output, right? So guys, all these examples are like machines. Okay, in machines, जहाँ पे you're feeding exactly one input and you're getting exactly one output. Okay, such machines, as I told you previously, are called as functions. Okay, one more example we'll take the example of y is equal to plus or minus root x. Now problem with y is equal to plus or minus root x here is, guys, that if you take x is equal to, let's say, +1 here, अगर आपने x का वैल्यू सपोज +1 फीड किया, तो y की वैल्यू क्या क्या आ सकती है? y की वैल्यू क्या होगी? प्लस और माइनस रूट ऑफ 1. तो y can take two values, either y will be +1 or y will be equal to -1. So for one value of x, you have exactly two values of y, right? So this type is basically not a function. Okay, so y is equal to plus or minus root x is definitely not a function, because you put one value of x, you get two values of y. Okay, to understand the concept of functions graphically, guys, what we need to understand here is, I have the graph of y equal to 2x plus 5. इस पूरे ग्राफ के ऊपर से I'll be basically passing a red line. Okay, and I will try to observe at how many points will the line meet the graph. Okay, so if you observe carefully, as the line meets, it meets the graph at exactly one point every time. देखो, यहाँ पे intersect किया तो एक ही point आ रहा है, यहाँ भी एक ही point आ रहा है. Okay, wherever the line intersects the graph, okay, the red line, it will meet the graph at only one point, right? That means for one value of x exists only one value of y. That is why this is going to be a function, right? Same thing you can check for the other one, guys, y equal to 2 raised to x. यहाँ भी same चीज हम observe करेंगे. Wherever the line exists the graph, okay, it will meet the graph when exactly one point everywhere, right? Matlab for one value of x, you have only one value of y. That means this is also a function. Same thing you can check for y is equal to x square also. Wherever the line moves over the graph, okay, it will meet the function exactly one point, right? कहीं भी जाएगी एक point पे meet करेगी line. So this is also a function. But guys, if you observe carefully, y is equal to plus minus root x पे कहीं भी अगर आप इसको इंटरसेक्ट करवाओ इस ग्राफ से, except this point of course 0, कहीं भी और अगर इसको आप मीट करवाओ, okay, the line will meet the graph in exactly 2 points, right? देखो यहाँ पे एक पॉइंट, नीचे वाला एक पॉइंट, right? यहाँ पे एक पॉइंट, नीचे वाला पॉइंट, right? That tells you what, guys? Okay, for one value of x you have two values of y. Okay, that is why this particular graph is not a function. Okay, so every function can definitely be represented in the form of a graph, guys. Okay, but the reverse may or may not be true. Every graph is not a function. Okay, or rather every graph may or may not be a function. Okay, more example, guys. Circles are not functions. Okay, circles may be same thing lagu hoga. If you have a straight line, the straight line will meet the circle in two distinct points. For one value of x you have two values of y. Not possible. Okay, something same will happen for a hyperbola. Okay, for all elliptical diagrams basically. Okay, for an ellipse like this probably. Okay, you may also observe this for x is equal to mod y, that kind of a graph, right? So it will be something like this, x is equal to mod y, where x is always positive, so something like this. यहाँ भी same चीज होगा. Okay, so wherever, okay, the line meets the graph in more than one point, okay, the graph is not a function. Okay, we go on further, guys, and we see the types of functions. Okay, there are many one functions, okay, that tells you that many values of x correspond to single value of y. We'll see some examples, okay, like y is equal to 5. Okay, अब guys, y is equal to 5 tells us what? आपने coordinate axis पे कोई भी x का value ले लिया, okay, the y value still remains equals to 5, isn't it? For all these values of x, the value of y remains the same, which is equal to 5, right? This is the many one function. Okay, guys, same thing with y is equal to x square. यहाँ पे x equal to 1 पुट किया हमने, y is equal to 1 square आएगा. अगर x equal to -1 भी लिया, still y will be equal to -1 का square, which is +1 only, right? So multiple values of x correspond to the same value of y. हाँ, ये हो रहा है कि यहाँ पे the value of y is repeating, but at a time जब हम x का value put कर रहे हैं तो y की एक ही value आ रही है, right? That's why it is a function. Okay, so guys, don't get confused. Okay, y is equal to x square is a function. It's a many-one function. y x की कोई भी वैल्यू पुट करेंगे, ओके, y की वैल्यू डेफिनेटली आएगी, बट अगर x को नेगेट किया हमको y की सेम वैल्यू आएगी, राइट? सो इट्स अ मेनी वन फंक्शन. सेकंड टाइप ऑफ फंक्शंस आर बेसिकली कॉल्ड एज वन वन फंक्शंस. उनका एक और नाम होता है इंजेक्टिव फंक्शंस. इंजेक्शंस कायदे से एक इंसान को ही लगता है एक बार, सो इंजेक्टिव फंक्शंस आर वन वन. यू कैन रिमेंबर दिस नाउ. ओके, so one value of x corresponds to exactly one value of y. Okay, it is as simple as that. आपने एक वैल्यू पुट किया x का, okay, you get one value of y. That value of y will not repeat again. Okay, so talking about y equals to 2x plus 5 and y is equal to x cube. Guys, remember y is equal to 2x plus 5 is a linear function, right? Linear functions are always 1 1. Okay, ax plus by plus c is equal to 0 कभी भी आपने लिया होगा, that equation will always be linear. हाँ, उसमें अगर आप mod लगा के कुछ छेड़छाड़ कर रहे हो तो अलग बात है. Okay, but as it is, if you take ax plus by plus c equals to 0, the equation is always a 1 1 function. You can always remember this. Okay, same thing goes on with y is equal to x cube, guys. You take one value of x, you get exactly one value of y. The value won't repeat. Like x equal to 1 पे कितना हो जाएगा y का value 1 cube, which is 1 only. But if you take x as -1, y का value क्या हो जाएगा? -1 cube, which is -1. Right? So value of x changes, okay, y का different value मिलता है, y का value repeat नहीं होता है यहाँ पे. Okay, so this is the second kind of function, the one one function or the injective function.